Okay, hello everyone. I think this is gonna work. Hopefully it does. I'll do my best to stay up with the chat. This is my first time. I'm really nervous. I don't know what to anticipate, but I thought we'd do some Leetcode together. So I've been trying to do a Leetcode a day to keep bugs away. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start out with some arrays and strings. As you see, I did start with some of them already. We can also do some code wars too. Let's do some code wars. A small screen there. I like to do it by most completed first, so let's do some fun ones. Okay, we're gonna do the ones I have not trained on. Okay, let's do some Grasshopper function syntax debugging. So a student was working on a function and made some syntax mistakes while coding. Help them find their mistakes and fix it. Alright. So what you're expecting here is that. Okay, so we get in a function called main, and it's going to accept a verb and a noun, and it wants to return back the verb and a noun in one string. So just to make sure I understand, I receive 2 words, gonna return back 1 word with 2 strings added. So you have a verb of jump. So an example would be you have a verb of jump and a noun of rock. And this should output jump rock together in one. And let's see, as you can tell here, usually when you create a function, you're gonna pass in parentheses, and you can see that we have an closing bracket, so we need an opening bracket, and this should work. And it did. Also, I love looking at other people's code. One of the best things I've found is that when you read others, sorry, I got caught off there. Arrow functions. Okay. Yeah, so one thing I love doing is I love reading other people's code of how they get to where they get to. It's a good edge case to think about. If the length is greater than 1, then you need to. Okay, that one's interesting. Let's do a Leetcode. I love to do increasing triplet sequence. Let's do reverse words in a string. Okay, so I have to delete all my previous notes. Okay, cool. And put it away. Okay, it doesn't want to stay. Maybe I have to push it like that. Okay, cool. What do you see? Oops. I like to put me in my corner. Okay. So this is called reverse words in a string, and we're gonna work on arrays and strings Leetcode. Here, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and read it first. So we're given an input string S. So reverse the order of the words. A word is defined as a sequence of non-space characters. So the words in S will be separated at least one space. Return a string of the words order concatenated by a single space. Return the string. So note that S may contain leading or trailing spaces or multiple spaces. The return string should only have a single space entering the words. Do not include any extra spaces. Okay, as you can see, the leading and the trailing spaces are not included when you receive the output here. So our constraints is that we're always going to get at least one letter. So as that length, so we know for sure we're always going to get at least one letter for a word. S contains English letters, uppercase and lowercase. So it includes a little bit of everything with digits and spaces. There is at least one word in S. Okay, so here let's assess what we're going to get in. So in this function for reverse words, we're going to receive a string of words with spaces and uppercase, and lowercase letters, sometimes digits as well. And then we're going to return the string back with the words reverse. So we're going to expect a string data type back. So if I have, let's say, jump, oh yeah, it added that itself, but ignore, we'll work with it. Jump over the bridge. I anticipate to see back bridge, the over jump. And it seems that it will contain at least one word, and if we get only one word, we anticipate to see the same word back. So that's a good edge case to think about. Edge case: if string has the length of 1, return string back. Otherwise, what we're gonna do, brute force, my mind is thinking right now, create an empty string, and then we're gonna iterate through, starting at the end. Iterate through, starting at the end of S string, and then add it in to the empty string. Then we're going to return the empty string. So we're going to say let reverse string equal an empty string right now, and then we're going to iterate through. Starting at s.length minus 1. And we keep iterating until we get to the index of 0, and then we're going to decrement down. So this one would say, for my example right here, I is going to start here, and then after we push in bridge into reverse string, it's going to equal bridge. Then we're going to push I down here, and it's going to grab the. So we're going to say reverse string plus equal s of I plus a space. And then we're gonna go ahead and return ref string dot trim. And trim is a method to go ahead and just delete those leading and the trailing empty white spaces, as you can see right here. And also I forgot to add my edge case. If s.length is equal to 1, then we're gonna return s back. And I am gonna run it just in case. No. Okay. I get it. Okay. As you can see my output right here, it's adding the next to it. And it shouldn't be adding the. Oops. I get it. Okay. So what I did wrong is what it's doing is actually reversing each of the letters, and what I need to do is actually grab it by the word. And how I'm gonna grab it by the word, let word equal as dot split on spaces, and this should create me an array of blue, or should create me an array. Let's use my example. Jump over bridge, and then that's easier to iterate through. So we're gonna do let I equal word dot length -1. So we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna add in word of I plus the space. So where did I go wrong? Okay, so it grabbed each letter. We're gonna iterate through, starting at the end. Maybe I need to say does not equal a space. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna add that check. May delete that. Okay. So if I is equal, so our output is exactly stating that. So if word of I, because word console.log word and word of I here. Okay, so you can see it capture all the spaces here. I'm trying to think, like, do I need a filter? Is there do I need a dot trim it? But dot trim is only used for the leading and the ending. If word of I does not equal, but I am telling it here, okay, word of I is grabbing here, and you can see it's grabbing the spaces and grabbing the spaces. Oh, okay. It's grabbing the spaces with the close. We did it. Cool. It's always exhilarating when you are able to, like, it complex you for a little bit, but then you're able to go ahead and resolve and through it. So this is very exciting. So our time here, the fact that we're iterating through each one of them, it'd be O of n, just of how many n represents the words that are in S. Space would be O of n, because we're creating a new string to store in the space. And with this, the way I think about how to optimize it would be, could I do it in place? And that will help with space. And the way I think about doing it in place is taking, so optimize by doing it in place. I would say as dot, I would take okay, so I would take a string, split it on spaces, and then I would reverse it, and then I would join it back together on spaces. Return as dot split, because doing this, you are actually reversing in the actual string itself, and you are not. I think you are actually reversing it in this string itself, because we're using the actual string and we're not creating a new copy somewhere else. My other thought is, do I need to do a dot trim? Because I would assume this would be capture. Dot trim here. Let's trim in the beginning, so it will remove it here. Okay, this is good here. I'm dealing with the same problem. Dot split, dot reverse. You're gonna do a dot join on spaces again. Do you need to do a double join? And what I mean as a double join, because that will group it closer together, I assume. Okay, no, it doesn't like that. Okay. Dot trim, dot split. S dot trim, S dot split. So we're gonna split and grab each word. You're gonna reverse it. Dot filter, dot substring, dot replace. Dot filter, dot replace, dot substring. Trying to think through like all these string methods I'm thinking about. Typically I can look back at here and see what I did and see if there's a method. Dot. So right now it's an array right here, because dot split will turn into an array, and I can map through it. Dot filter out, filter where word does not equal a space. Okay, that will cause it to do it in place, and that will help with space. But time, you still have to iterate through each word that comes through the string. So if you guys have any other, we're gonna find out if it passed. If you guys have any other solutions, feel free to let me know. I wonder, 2018. I love reading other people's problems or how they solved it. In an array like this, how about method-wise? Trim and you're gonna split it. I'm not gonna reject it. Rejects. Yet. So. Oh, that's intense. A lot of swapping for sure. Definitely you could swap with this too. So as you can see, we walked through the reverse words. We walked through the reverse words in a string, and we looked at the problem and read the problem to make sure we understood our constraints that were coming in we understood our constraints that are coming in. And then also you can see that we did a lot of pseudocode, understanding what kind of data type we're receiving, what kind of data type we want to output, and listing an example, talking about some edge cases there. And then we did some brute force right here as well. And then we came up with an optimized solution together. So, and also talk about time and space. So yeah, this was a great run for today. I definitely will be doing more of these. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please always reach out. So alright, until then, I have to go off and work on my other project. So we'll talk soon.